You guys asked for it, so we deliver. A few months ago, almost 6 months ago, I think, we came to Antoine to give you an update on his Porsche 924 ex-flooded abandoned rally car project. It's now obviously quite a few months further, and the car has, well, gone through quite a conversion. It looks quite different right now. And I haven't really seen the car myself in the flesh since making that video. So this is the first time that I returned to this garage as well. And the car seems to have multiplied. We'll get into that in a second. But let's first hear from Antoine what the car has gone through in the meantime and what the plans are for the next couple of weeks, months, or maybe even years. I have no idea how long this, this build will take, but it's going to be quite a project. So let's take a look at that. So yeah, a second 924 joined the party. Of course, this is also an abandoned car. We'll get into that later. Let's first take a look at the actual red car that we... the well-known one. The well-known one. Yeah, I think the last video was... It was kind of fun to make. Yeah, the last video was filmed when you had the car for like a week? Yeah, 2 weeks, something like that?
Basically a week, I think, because I just got the car and called you, and we knew that we would start to work on it. So I was like, if you want to see the car in the state, come quick.
In the original state, because right now, just looking from the outside, obviously we have the Carrera GT front grill is going to be the right word? Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, I remember looking at a 924 Turbo back when I just bought the MGB and thinking this is a really cool car. So yeah, it's probably a turbo grill.
The grill is from a turbo, and the underneath front, like, is of course the homemade bumper, but the turbo have an aqueduct on the on the hood.
And then we have he has a new door as well. The other door is right there. It has quite a few dents in it, so he decided that buying a new door was going to be cheaper and easier than fixing the old door. And then obviously here we have the wider rear wheel arches from an actual Carrera GT 924. The other one is right there, but you kind of want to keep the narrow front, right?
Yeah, because as I said sooner, the car is a 2-liter, and the Carrera GT, it's a 2-liter too, but it's turbo, and it's putting like 220 horsepower, I think, on the Carrera GT. Okay. This one is only 125, and I was like, I don't want to do a clone of Carrera GT.
Yeah, okay.
Like this one, for example, and I kind of want to go my own way. If I take the story from the beginning, the plan was not at all to
go the Carrera GT way, right? Yeah.
But I have a guy who contacted me on Facebook telling me that I have a turbo front panel if you're interested. And I was like, yeah,
why not?
And he also had the arches, and the price was good. I was like, yeah, I will get them, and I will see what I will do with them.
Yeah, okay.
And now, when you put them on the car and look at the car from an angle, from there, you can't go the other way. So I was like, yeah, I want to put the rear arches on it, and I was also like, yeah, I don't want to put the front one, because the front one are similar to the 944, and the way why I choose this car is because I prefer the look of the 924 to the 944. It's more narrow. It's more 70s. I think the 944 really screams.
It's more 80s. Yeah, it's more 80s.
I love the 70s vibe of the 924, and I was like, if I swap the front for a 944 fenders, it kind of goes beyond the point of buying a 924. I should have bought a 944. So that's why I want to keep the narrow front. But if you keep the narrow front with the wide fenders, without something in the front to beef it up a bit, like the front bumper, it's kind of weird. So I need to find a way to make everything go together. And right now the car is pretty high, so when it will be lowered, it will be cooler too. And with a true bumper, not a cardboard one too.
Yeah, because Antoine is kind of a designer himself, so he is making, or in the process of making, his own front bumper for the car that matches the vibe of the wider wheel arches at the rear, and as he said, to beef up the front a little bit without putting on the wider wheel arches at the front. So I think this 924 will be the absolute definition of an outlaw Porsche. Like, it's not really going to be a Carrera GT build. It's not really going to be a full-on rally car build. Not sure. It's just going to be a really cool outlaw.
Yeah, just and to enjoy on days out.
And just make someone smile at like a car meet, for example.
Yeah, and to have really a car that stands out. That was already what I said in the first video. So that's the same idea. It's just that before I was like, I will keep it narrow and with cool wheels and go with a pretty conventional way.
Yeah.
And now everything got out.
Got really out of hand. And then he started stripping off the livery as well. I think last time we had kind of martini stripes from the front to the back. The black sticker or decal on the front has been partially taken off as well, even though the front, like the bonnet of that car is going to be used on this car because this is way too much work. And then here, when they stripped off the livery, a lot of paint came off as well. So the car now needs a full respray.
Yeah. But it will stay in red.
Yeah, okay, it will stay red.
A car with I hate when cars have like an engine bay that is another color.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
So
it will get an exterior respray, so not a full-on respray.
The interior will be repainted black.
Yeah,
I think black or something like that. Maybe.
Yeah, okay.
We will see. And
well, there is if you look online for a Porsche 924 Carrera GT, there is always this red one popping up, and it is like from the rear, it looks so good. A Carrera GT style body for the 924 in red is it's an amazing color for any sports car. So I think red is definitely the way to go, or it's one of the best ways to go. So that's definitely true.
Yeah, I think it suits the car pretty well, and it matches the era. And right now with the wide arches and the front bumper, the goal is to make something that could have raced in a SCCA in the States.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of white cars in SCCA, but I think the red is cool, and
yeah, of course.
The cars still have like the original plate with the name of the color and stuff. So I don't really want to lose that.
Yeah, it's
kind of weird because I'm basically making a whole new car out of it, but I kind of want to keep the heritage of the car too, and like all the stickers on the windows. I can't decide if I need to get them. I will for sure. I will get these parts and maybe just get them at my house and keep it. But I don't know if I will keep it on the car right now.
Yeah, okay. And then since last time, the entire interior has been stripped as well. Yeah. The car doesn't yet run, but you're fairly close. There's only one part which is acting up.
We started after the video. We started by changing, of course, the battery.
The battery, pretty important.
And there was a few things that were not working.
Yeah.
First thing first, simply the starter. Starter was dead, so we changed the starter.
Pretty important as well.
Once we changed the starter, we noticed that we had some spark on the plugs, so that was a good start. So we started to look at the fuel lines and fuel filters and fuel pumps. We changed everything basically, so everything is new.
Yeah, okay.
But once we arrived to the Cadjetronic injection, that's where we saw that there was a problem because the injectors were shooting constantly the gas out of it. So I was like, that's not normal. And the Cadjetronic were really the piece that sent the gas to all the injectors at the right moment. Apparently doesn't work, so right now it's being rebuilt.
Yeah.
So once we get this part back, we hope that the car will start, because all the rest is pretty clean, and we've been able to control a bit of everything and see if everything is okay. And we have some compression, we have everything to do. Yeah. We actually tried to start it with some start pilots one day, and it revved for like maybe half a second. But
it wants to go.
So we're like, okay, that's cool. We will make the Cadjetronic rebuild properly, and we will see what we'll do with the engine. But The brakes are we have all the stuff to remake the brakes. All the bearings are new. Basically all the components for under the car for the braking stuff.
Yeah,
everything will be new, and
well,
it will be a brand new car pretty much.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you basically need three things to have an engine running. That's a spark, air, and fuel. So it's usually not that complicated, but with electronics, it can get kind of complicated to find where the actual issue is.
Yeah, and on the Cadgetronic is the pressure of the gas passing by some canals that push a plate that make the air go. So everything is tied together on one device. So if this thing doesn't work, the car doesn't work.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it's beginning to be an interesting project. I do remember in the last video that you were saying that you wanted to go to some meets this year and that was probably going to be possible. I think I said I would like to see that happening, that it's going to be pretty difficult. And I think there's, for everyone building a car, there's a point where you're like, okay, I can either go all the way and do everything right from the first time, or I can just quickly fix it up and indeed do some meets. And you have definitely chosen to go the first route, to do the difficult work first, to dive into it deep right now.
We remove the seats, remove the carpets, and you see, the insulation is pretty fucked up. So what do? Do I just respray over and re-put the carpet and you don't even see it? Or do I just remove everything and get 10 kilo out of the car more and stuff like that? So yeah, I got there and basically got the car to the medals.
Yeah, and then you discovered another kind of small issue on the passenger side footwell or floor, with a few dents and the piece being bent up. But overall, it's a very good base to do anything with, basically. Because so
the cool thing is the galvanized body, as I said already. So it just doesn't rust. So the only part that we really need to work on is really this area behind the seat. It's the only thing that needs some welding and grinding and being redone here a bit too. That's nothing too crazy. So
yeah, the floor doesn't look rusty at all. It's pretty. I mean, it's fine. You can definitely work with this.
So we will put a primer on everything and to get everything smoothed out, and then paint it black. I think it will look cool. The plan is still to just, of course, the roll cage isn't there for obvious reasons. If you want to paint everything, and
it's pretty difficult to paint everything.
We got it out of there, but the roll cage we get back into it.
Yeah.
This is just the two seats, some carpets on the front, and maybe on the back, but we'll see. I do like the idea of just having a fully stripped out car too. If everything is painted black and clean, I mean, it could work.
Yeah, of course.
Maybe just still a carpet at the back for this part, and
just keep it nice and simple.
Yeah, really simple. There's a few pieces that I want to make myself too. Like it's these things. It's from a VW Golf, and I'm like, that's kind of sad to hear that. So I think I will make a nice aluminium piece, cut it, and
drill some holes in it.
Yeah, and maybe just even laser cut it, and you do that, and it's easier.
Yeah, of course.
But we will see. There will be some touches that will show that the car has gone through some reflection, and that you still want to have something that looks nice and perform nice, but in the end it will still be pretty much a race car at the back. So
of course. And in terms of the engine, like, what are the options here?
Right now we'll keep it stock, of course, because first step is to get the car painted and looking great, running great, and after that we will see. Maybe go to a carb conversion or something later on, but that won't be for now.
First thing will be to get it on the road and just get it driving, do the body and stuff like that.
Because if I want to do a second engine, there's maybe this one.
Yep. Yeah, so the thing basically is, as happens with, I think, a lot of project cars, you need a lot of parts, you need bits and bobs here and there, and then in the end you end up with another car. So this is basically another kind of crap Porsche 924 that has been converted to a partial like 944 body. It's not really a 944 body, but it kind of looks like a 944 with the Carrera GT rear fenders and rubber spoiler at the back. So it's a pretty weird car, but it has a lot of good parts as well that you plan to use on your build.
I basically bought it for the wheels. That was the first thing.
The rear wheels we're speaking of.
And then I saw that the fiberglass 924 GT Carrera GT spoiler. They were like, that's a cool piece too.
Oh, so this is fiberglass. I thought it was rubber. No, usually it's rubber. Oh yeah, okay.
It's a fiberglass one, so that's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool because the rubber ones they can get quite hard and they
tend to crack.
Yeah, they tend to crack. They don't really survive that well. So
it's okay. I rarely see cracked.
Rubber spoiler,
on the 924 and 944, I think they use the proper rubber for that.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, I think this one looks cooler and it will suit the vibe.
It will match the vibe of the car. So
this one, like they molded everything on the car, but this one it will be glued on just like the 924 Carrera GTs in the era. So
yeah.
But yeah, this has seen some better days, I think.
This has definitely seen some better days. I mean, it's been outside for probably years. So
apparently, it was in kind of a shed for like 2 years. Then it was in a garden for 3 years. So
yeah, okay.
It's been sitting outside for 5 years basically, and the car hasn't run in. We don't even know how many long. But we dropped the battery on it, and the engine does run.
Okay.
It doesn't run. You can drive it, but it does run on the starter.
Yeah. Okay.
So.
Yeah. So, in the end, you might have one engine in the car and then have another engine just on an engine stand, ready for just a cool build and for like a carb conversion or ITBs or a turbo build, and have like 2 engines at the ready, depending on which you want to go for with the car, which is pretty cool. I mean, that's something which we would love with the BMW as well, to just have a second engine that we're building as more like of a race spec that we can just put into the car whenever we want or whenever we need. So yeah, that's pretty cool.
If you take this car, right now it doesn't look really great, but the seats are nice. They've been redone, back seats too. It's not pieces that I will need on this car, but it's pieces that I can sell or just use.
Yeah, of course.
To the technical inspection, you need to have the back seats. So
yeah, okay.
I can just get this out of this one, put this in the other one, and get the inspection with the green paper. So
yeah.
So that's the thing. And other than that, yeah, we will see if the body is savable, because of course there's a shit ton of rust on this one. Like this one doesn't have a single spot of rust of bad rust. This one does have a few of them. Yeah, the body is pretty rusted, and so we will see. We will start to get the part that we need out of this one, and if we see that behind that the body is savable, we will maybe keep the car and do like a second project with it.
Yeah, maybe a safari build, or
I think it's
that's what you were telling me.
For this car, because as I said, like the sunroof, it's been gutted and fitted.
Yeah, so for those of you watching, the sunroof is not original, so someone actually cut a hole in the roof and then fitted this sunroof. And I hate sunroofs on sports cars or race cars. I really like with the BMW E36 that we are building on the channel as well. I searched like a madman for a car without a sunroof, because almost every BMW E36 has a sunroof, and it's pretty annoying. So yeah, I don't really like sunroofs, and especially on rally cars, race cars, any sports cars, I just don't really think it fits. But sometimes you don't really have a choice. Like I am kind of looking for a 6-cylinder BMW E36 as well. I think it would be a pretty cool Grand Tourer as a replacement for the Saab maybe. And a lot of those cars have sunroofs, so I don't really think I can get my way around that every single time. For the race car build, I just really wanted the car without a sunroof. But this one, I don't really, if the car comes with a sunroof from the factory, like that's fine. But cutting your own sunroof, I mean, that's pretty next level.
Yeah, because that was the goal with this one. Also, I wanted a car with sunroof.
It doesn't have a sunroof.
A lot of Targas, they're called Targa when they put the sunroof, and I really don't like that.
Yeah.
So I was happy that this one wasn't a Targa. Yeah, and this one, the guy just get it in it. Yeah, I don't really understand the goal of this car. what the goal with this car was at the time.
But I mean, these cars have been extremely, extremely cheap for a very long time. I mean, this is also the weekend of the Porsche days at Spa-Francorchamps, and you went there yesterday.
Yeah, and it's either way, like you have 944 turbos that sells for 50k.
Yeah, of course. Like original ones.
Perfect. Or you have like crappy ones. It's two extremes. And like,
it's
I want
two
to be in
extremes,
the middle and be like that with this car and be, it's a cool car. It's nothing too crazy, but it's cool. It looks great. It performs great. And I have fun with it, and that's basically the goal.
Yeah, I think that's a good like in between, or if you can keep kind of the value of the car, make something cool and original out of it that Porsche guys can enjoy and appreciate as well, but still have something unique that is in a very good shape, then I think you're at the right spot. This, for example, a lot of these cars, as I said, are so cheap, or they have been so cheap for such a long time that people have done really crazy things with them, and a lot of these cars, a lot of these 924s, and even a lot of 944s are just, they're just crap at the moment, which is kind of sad, but that's just the way it goes. I mean, it's the same with BMW E36 6-cylinders. They've been used for drifting for so long that a lot of them are basically just crap right now, and the original ones are getting worth a lot of money. Yep, exactly. If you go to the Nürburgring and just look at the Touristenfahrt at the Nürburgring, it is full of BMWs and especially E36s. So yeah, those cars they've been cheap for a long time. They are still kind of cheap. They're very easy to modify. You find a lot of parts for them. So yeah, they obviously get a lot of attention from car guys that want to turn them into race cars, and I am no different. I took a perfectly fine E36 and stripped the interior as well. So yeah, that's how it goes. But yeah, Antoine, thank you for giving us an update on the car. Hopefully the next time that we see you, this car actually runs and we can hear it run for the first time on the channel. I can see that you've done a lot of work on this, and I do hope that you can progress quite nicely from here on. I think a lot of things still need to be done to the car, but you've obviously chosen to go down the rabbit hole and do things properly, which I personally like and would do as well. So yeah, no.
It will be a one-of-a-kind 924.
Yep,
in the end,
definitely.
That's cool.
Definitely. No, thank you very much for another update, and yeah, we'll see you in a few months' time. Yeah. So yeah, everyone, thank you very much for watching. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, then please do so, because we are going to be following up on this car every few months whenever there's like a cool update on the car or on other projects that he decides to take on. We'll come back and revisit this this whole thing. So yeah, thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.